It's that time. Welcome to Roadmap, how to take 3 listings a week until you're ready for more. Each week, we interview a great agent who's consistently taking several listings each month, and we have an exciting guest today. We encourage you to take notes and apply as much of their knowledge as quickly as you can, and then use the copycat principle. Let me introduce my co-host from San Diego, Carly Hathaway. That's carlyhathaway.com. Hi, Carly. How's the real estate business?
Hi, Ren. Hi, everybody. Real estate is fabulous. Lots of people leaving California, so it's a good time to be a listing agent for sure.
I like that. Before I introduce our guest today, I want to remind everyone that we are also simulcasting the show on the private lead gen group on Facebook. They have 60,000 members, so we have a large audience there today as well. And we'll be pausing for a commercial message during the show as a thank you to everybody over at Lead Gen on Facebook. Let's welcome our guest today from Metro Detroit and a slice of paradise in Michigan, Mr. Brandon Mulrenin. Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
What is happening? Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it. And I'm happy to be here.
We are so excited to have you, Brandon. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
absolutely. Ready to drop some value to the audience for sure.
Folks, be ready to write the stuff down or rewind it and play it over and over and over again, because you got some good stuff coming.
Yeah. So Brandon, let's just kind of hear a little bit about you and your business. What is your goal for this year?
My goal I have a broker, I own a brokerage, and I'm in personal production as well. I'm more focused on the brokerage now. Last year, I sold 56 houses, typically sell 100 a year. The brokerage did 1,300 transactions last year. And so the goal this year is to break over $500 million in sales volume. Mm-hmm. And that's the goal. So my goal is to continue selling 50, 60 homes a year, stay in the game, stay crispy, keep my skills up where they need to be, and then help my team and I train and coach to be the best listing agents as they can.
Love it. That's amazing. Amazing goals. I could tell you just keep moving forward with it. That's fabulous.
That's the goal, right? Just keep growing or dying.
Good. So let me ask you, where does a majority of your business come from? Especially where does a majority of your new agents' business come from?
Yeah. So the listing roadmap, as we give our agents, no point intended, is for sale by owners, expireds, old expireds, absentee owners, for rent by owners. And then we really focus on the divorce real estate niche and assisted living. So those would be our main new lead generation strategies, in addition to our past client center of influence database.
Lovely. Those are all amazing leads, because those people are now business. They have to move. They're really good ones to go after. They need to sell their homes, right?
100%.
Great. Awesome. So let's really focus in on just one of those. Like, can we just really dig into FSBOs? Because I know that's something that, everyone can get their hands on their phone numbers with Vulcan7. And I think if we could dig deeper and know how to really get those listings, it could help a lot of people.
Absolutely. That's how I built my career. And I believe, Ren and Carly, that a for sale by owner gives a brand new agent the best opportunity to get listings today. So I'd love to kind of walk the audience through step by step how to go out there and win.
Beautiful. So somebody could take
Perfect. We love it. I'm taking notes.
Let's jump into it. So the first thing with for sale by owners is it's a change in mindset from, I think, the traditional path of going after for sale by owners to what we do today. And that is this. The traditional path is communicating with the for sale by owner, Ren and Carly, to try to convince them that selling by owner is a bad idea and listing with a realtor is a better idea. Well, convincing people of anything these days is very difficult. Get a Democrat and a Republican in the same room and watch them go at it. It's like talking to a brick wall. So it's very difficult to convince a for sale by owner to change their entire mindset on one phone call. So I teach something called reverse selling. So the first thing here is when we reach out to a for sale by owner, the goal is to be the first voice. So as soon as we get that for sale by owner lead through Vulcan7, we're on the phone by 8:30 at the latest. We want to be the first voice. And we use what we call a pattern interrupt in neurolinguistics, as you guys both are aware. And we come from a place of contribution. we actually support the for sale by owner to sell on their own. Now, before all the agents say, wait, what did he just say? Let's go through the whole strategy. Because what does every other agent do? Every other agent picks up the phone and starts selling, starts pressuring them, starts going after the listing, starts convincing them. And oh, by the way, what does the for sale by the FSBO do every time? They hang up. They give them resistance. They give them objections, because the whole goal on that first call, first contact, is to get a face-to-face appointment. Now, Carly, ask me why.
Why?
Because here's what we know. A face-to-face appointment changes everything. The prospect owes us nothing. They are not going to tell us the truth over the phone to a complete stranger who they feel threatened by. So what happens is when we get face-to-face, Carly, we have for sale by owners that tell us we're never going to use an agent on the phone. And then we get face-to-face and their tune has completely changed. So let's stay with step one. We're just on the phone call. So our script is designed and structured in a way to position ourselves as the backup plan. Okay. And so when we are communicating with the for sale by owner, Carly, we support them in selling the house on their own. Matter of fact, we give them tips, strategies, coaching on how to do it. And we're the only agent approaching them with this strategy. And so what we're communicating is we say things like this: Carly, listen, the market in San Diego right now is incredible. I mean, chances are you're going to sell this house on your own. If in 30 days, for some off chance you can't, at that point in time, would you consider maybe looking at some other options and be honest?
Yeah, after 30 days, I would.
Well, let's do this. Let's not agree to anything right now. What I like to do, Carly, is simply stop by, take a quick look at the house. I'll give you some feedback. And when I'm there, I'll share with you how my for sale by owner backup plan works. And if it's something, Carly, that you want to talk further about in the future, we can do that. Fair enough?
Fair enough. That sounds good.
And that's how we're setting the appointment on the first call. Because, Carly, did you feel threatened at all?
Not at all. I didn't feel like you were going to push me to list with you at all.
And in reverse selling, we call that speaking in hypotheticals, because I justified your position with selling on your own. I respected your decision to do that. I didn't challenge you. I only asked you about a hypothetical situation, about something in the future, Carly, that if you caught, I positioned it like it was never going to happen. So therefore, you didn't worry about getting together because you thought, well, this guy's crazy. I'm going to sell my own house. Why not meet with him and look at something that I can review in the future? Does all that make sense so far?
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me ask you this, though. So when you're on that phone call and they're still resisting, like, no, what tidbits and tricks do you give them to use in marketing their homes that hopefully won't work, right?
Well, here's the thing. Hold on. That's the whole mindset. What you just said, I have a different difference of opinion there. Okay. When I come from a place of contribution, it's very authentic. Like I'm actually trying to get them to sell on their own. And that's why, and so most realtors hear that, it's so hard for them to fathom this in the beginning. They're like, Brandon, why are you doing this? Because here's what we know about the law of reciprocity. This is how we recruit agents to our firm. This is how we get listings. This is how we build relationships. The law of reciprocity is very clear, and it's a universal principle that works with every human being. When you feel, Carly, that someone's being authentic, that actually cares about you, at that very moment is the time where you actually care about them. There's a whole saying that you both know: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We've all heard that 1,000 times. So when we're prospecting, think about this for a second. The prospect is not used to a realtor calling and helping them, are they? They're used to them calling them, trying to sell them on listing their home. Would you agree?
Yes.
So when we use a pattern interrupt and we come from a place of contribution, the for sale by owner, Carly, has no idea how to respond but be thankful. Because here's what we know. The first call is only designed to do what? Get face to face.
Oh, get face-to-face. Yes.
Get face-to-face. That's the only goal. So the only goal is to get that face-to-face appointment. So we can't get into any type of convincing on the first call. Otherwise, we're asking for objections. We're asking for pushbacks. And now the dance starts. Because the other thing, and we'll keep moving down the path, Carly, the second thing is we never take the bait. So for most agents, when they hear, listen, Brandon, I'm never using an agent, we're selling this thing on our own, what do most agents try to do, Carly?
Try to tell them that they're kind of wrong or make them feel like they need us as agents.
Yeah, they try to use like an objection handler, right? And that's fine. That's fine. What we do is we stay agreeable, right? And say, Ren, I get it. Listen, if I was you and I was in Cincinnati, I'd try to sell this house on my own too. I'm with you. And I don't care what the other agents are saying in the marketplace. And so we stay agreeable because, again, we're just trying to get that face-to-face appointment. Does all that make sense?
It makes sense. And it seems like it comes from a mindset place. So when I'm going into that call, my mindset is, I don't want to sell their house. It's, I just want to get face-to-face.
That's right. We're not selling the house over the phone because how many, Carly, listings have you or any agent taken on the first call in your career ever?
None. Never.
0.
Impossible.
Impossible. But what does every agent try to do? They try to get the listing on the first call because we're addicted to instant gratification, aren't we?
Yes, 100%.
And so I'm teaching something that's completely the opposite, which allows us, our conversion on a first call appointment is like 70%.
Wow, that's really, really good, especially for those FSBOs, because Ren, what personality type are most FSBOs? And so they're hard to kind of convince.
Most are drivers.
Analytical.
Analytical drivers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's the first step.
So, are you getting a lot of or maybe you don't worry about it until you get there. Do you inquire what they're trying to accomplish, like, when they sell it, where they're going, et cetera, et cetera?
Absolutely. So on that first call, we talk about motivation, we get their goals, we get their timelines, we get all of that on the first call. Okay. But the goal is to end with that little role play that I just did with Carly, with justifying their decision to sell on their own, asking them if they'd be open to looking at other options in the future if they can't. And if they say yes, which most FSBOs do, we set that appointment, Ren, with the for sale by owner in a way to review our FSBO backup plan.
One more question. So if you ask them where they're moving to, how soon they need to be there, which are two different questions, and you find they have to move and they have to move pretty quickly, does that change anything?
Yeah, great question. So I know exactly where you're going. So here's what happens. So going back to the role play, Ren, that I did with Carly, I asked Carly, hey, if you can't sell this thing in the next 30 days, would you be open to potentially looking at some other options? She says yes. When we have a for sale by owner who has high motivation, the next thing that we do is we ask the for sale by owner, we say, Ren, well, let me ask you this since I have you. If I showed you this plan, it made sense and it got you the money that you need, is this something that you might consider now? And so they've already told us they'd be open to looking at other opportunities. Now we're just asking to see if they're open to it now. And after they've told us yes, they'd be, yeah, if it makes sense, certainly. Because I follow that up, Ren, with one of my favorite scripts ever. And I say, because listen, Ren, you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense. Am I right? And they always say yes. They can't help but say yes.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. There you go.
And so they have to say yes to that, which them saying yes gets us to the appointment to review the plan today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I love it. You get 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 6 or whatever it may be that they have to move and they have to move right away. And I know that behavior is dramatically different. So.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Let's go back a little bit. You said you want to be one of the first voices they hear. So you want them on the phones by 8 or 8:30. What is the new agent's schedule leading up to that? Do they just get in the office, hop on the phones, or do you do a little role play? Tell us what the schedule is and how important is it to stick to the daily schedule?
Yeah, the daily schedule is everything. What we say is you master the morning, you master the day. So we want the agents up by 5:30, 6 a.m. at the latest. We want them to wake up and sweat. They don't need to be a fitness model, but they need to sweat. They've got to release the dopamine and the endorphins immediately in the morning. And then, Carly, I want them to take an ice cold shower. All the science proves that the ice cold shower helps with our mindset and our human biology. And so when you start taking an ice cold shower, all my students in the beginning were like, what is he talking about, ice cold showers? Now they all do it. It will change your life. It will increase your health, increase your mindset, all of those things. Because listen, when we start prospecting, we need the energy. We need the focus, don't we? Well, so we've got to sweat. Then we take an ice cold shower. Then we look at the business plan and our goals. And then we're going with our role play partners for 30 minutes, no BS role playing. That means we don't get on the phone and say, Carly, how was your weekend? No, listen, we're practicing the for sale by owner objections. Go, go, go. And we're on the phone 8 a.m., 8:30 at the very, very, very latest.
Okay. I have never heard the ice cold shower.
Well, I have, because I do it, but I wanted to ask, I mean, do you go from hot to cold and then back, or you just go straight cold? Because I do hot to cold. Yeah. Are you just a hardcore Wim Hof guy?
So Ren knows about the Wim Hof strategy. Carly, you got to look it up. But no, okay. Now I'm at like lukewarm, and then I push as far as I can into pain, because that's the key to becoming an ultra wealthy real estate agent, is how much pain you can withstand in your mind. So when I talk about mindset, Carly, think about the pain the ice cold shower gets you. So if you can wake up, win the battle of the bed every morning, work on your mindset, work on your skills. I mean, you will do more before lunchtime than most realtors do in their career.
Hold up your right hand.
Oh my God, what are you doing to me, Ren?
All right, now, so the hand with the ring on it, is that an Oura?
I have an Oura ring, but that is not an Oura ring, but I do track all my sleep. Yes.
All right. So, okay. So I've got an Oura. I thought that was an Oura. Like, okay, we're in the same club.
We are in the same club.
Okay, so tracking your sleep, taking freezing cold showers, starting the day. I love it.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. Carly, listen, hold on. You need to put this in the show, because this is what people need to see and hear.
It gives you a readiness score. An Oura ring gives you a readiness score, and it makes your day much more powerful. OURA ring.
Here's the reality. The reality is this. We are in the human performance business. So nobody in our industry is talking about how to get good sleep. Everyone's talking about the fancy script, and no one's talking about how do you take care of your body and your mind, so that when you end up on the phone, you can speak with conviction and confidence. Nobody in our industry is talking about having air-conditioned blankets. No one's talking exactly, right? People laugh.
So interesting.
Well, this is why you got millionaires, and then you got a bunch of other people that don't make any money, because the millionaires are doing the things that we're talking about. And it's all because everybody wants to know, I want the sexy lead generation strategy. I want the sexy script. I want the shiny objects. And no one's talking about the Oura ring.
That's it.
Okay. Oura rings, cold showers. I'm into it, you guys. This is going to change everything. I'm going to be such a more powerful agent when I'm on the phone.
Yes, you are.
I'm a little scared of the cold showers, not going to lie,
just
but I'm going to try.
Work your way into it.
Yeah,
so
just go back and forth. That's all. Your mitochondria won't like it at the beginning, but when you do it a few times, they get used to it.
And because here's how we relate it to the new agent. Okay, Carly.
Yeah.
We start them off by making 5 to 10 contacts a day, right? It's like how to boil a frog. You know that story, right? Well, it's the same thing with the cold shower. It's the same thing with prospecting. So we can't get a new agent right into 40, 50 contacts a day, even though that's where Ren and I want them to be. We've got to get them 5, 10 contacts a day. Then it's 20, then it's 30. So with the cold shower, think about this for a second. We're going super deep. The further you can push yourself into pain, the colder that shower gets, the more mental toughness you're building, which is going to serve you when you start getting your ass beat on the phone and you start getting rejected on the phone. You can withstand the pain, which is what we need to do. Would you agree?
I 100% agree.
So
I feel like I'm going to be a Navy SEAL after this call. I love it.
That's the goal.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. It's so good.
You didn't know this was going to be a coaching session, did you, Carly?
I love a coaching session. I could be coached every day, all day. I love it. Okay, so you have your agents take freezing cold showers, role play aggressively, get on the phones. Do you have an example of, say, a new agent that has followed your plan to a T and it's actually working?
Yes. So everyone can go watch. I interviewed her on my YouTube channel last week. She tells all of this. So I'm not telling you anything that she didn't tell you in the interview. She went through a divorce, filed bankruptcy, and lost her business. When I met her in November 2020, she had $12 to her name. $12. I started working with her. In her first 30 days, she got 12 listings and made $50,000 in real estate commissions doing exactly what we're talking about. Because what I teach and what I do is the exact opposite of how we all grew up in the industry and what's being taught today. Because the consumer is more sophisticated and more high level and has higher skills than most new agents. So we have to change the way we approach the consumer.
That was just last year. So last year she's broke. She learned a few thoughts of and the approach from you, and then she did it, and she picked up 50 grand, 12 listings of 50 grand real quick. January she took 12 listings. In February she made 50K. I just had a coaching call with her in March. She's going to do 9 or 10 listings, and she has 7 that are going to close in March as well. So that's this year. Okay, so it's all happening this year.
And those are all FSBOs or expireds as well?
She doesn't call expireds yet. This is all FSBO. She's in Texas. She's got tons of FSBOs. This is all FSBO. She's working one source at a time, mastering that source.
Wow.
How exciting. That's just amazing. From $12 to $50,000 in a month. I love it.
Yep.
That's amazing. It's what we can do is just limitless, you know?
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about step 2. So we talked about that initial phone call, Ren. We talked about how do we set the appointment? How do we position ourselves to get the prospect to be open to meeting? Now we're at the meeting. So I'll kind of walk you guys through what that meeting looks like. So we get to the property, we're touring the property, we're taking copious notes, we're giving the seller feedback, we're asking questions about their motivation, we're talking about all of those different things during the tour. Really what we're doing is we're trying to connect with the human because we're in a human-to-human business. And so that's the goal. Then we get into the Zillow ad review. Most people aren't doing that at the appointment. So we're reviewing the ad, the Zillow ad with the FSBO, and we're coaching them on their Zillow ad and on their marketing strategy. And we're coaching the seller. Then we get into our FSBO CMA presentation. And we do a for sale by owner value proposition presentation, followed by our FSBO backup plan. And that's kind of my step-by-step face-to-face FSBO preview appointment strategy.
It sounds awesome. And you know what I like is when you're talking to them about their Zillow ad or however they're advertising it, you're probably being gentle and boosting their ego a little bit to help build that relationship even more.
Well, yeah, because again, this whole thing that I do, that now I teach agents all over the world, is coming from a place of contribution, which humans are not used to, generally speaking, especially a FSBO. They're just getting their heads kicked in with every Tom, Dick, and Harry realtor pressuring them, using all kinds of hardcore selling techniques to tell them how stupid they are. So they're not used to being served by a real estate professional. They're not used to that. So they really like it. So when we come from that position, they're like open arms. And here's the key. 2 things occur. 1, we get the buy-side transaction out of the FSBOs lots of times. And 2, when they can't sell on their own, which, you know, in a market like this, the argument is, well, they're all selling on their own. It's not always like that, as Ren knows. We are the obvious choice if they can't sell their house on their own. They just call us up. You know what? You're right. We're ready to list. Can you come list the home? And we're just getting come list me calls all the time.
Okay.
So that's that face-to-face appointment, which then leads us into step 3. But if you guys have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those.
So when you're doing the face-to-face, is your goal to get a contract signed, or is it
Absolutely
to get them to come
not.
back? Okay.
Absolutely not. We don't go bait and switch. We're not talking about we've got a buyer. Let me come to the house. And then we get there and then, never mind. Everything I said was BS. Let me try to sell you on listing your home now. No.
Strictly coming in contribution.
Because I believe the face-to-face appointment, Carly, is the beginning of the interview process and the lead follow-up process. because now when I'm following up with the for sale by owner, which is step 3, anybody that goes after FSBOs know it's all about the follow-up, right?
Yes.
And now as I call a FSBO, Carly, I've had this interaction with them. We've had a face-to-face appointment versus all my competition that have no relationship, keep trying to pressure them. So we have good dialogue through step 3, which is my FSBO follow-up strategy. And so we have an aggressive follow-up strategy. And so I'll walk the audience through that. Ren, do you have a question on that real quick?
No, go for it.
So Mondays, we call all of our FSBOs that are in our pipeline. Tuesdays, we are sending them out a piece of direct mail. So they get a letter for 8 weeks, 8 pieces of direct mail over 8 weeks. Wednesday, they get our FSBO email. Thursday, they're getting, we do a Facebook custom audience so that FSBOs seeing our message, seeing our videos, seeing our face in their Facebook, Instagram feeds. Every Friday, we do a text message, and then we offer to do open houses for them on Saturday. So we're touching them 6 times a week, all serving them. So it's no surprise we act as their agent, Ren, before they think they need one. So when the day comes where they need to hire an agent, who do you think gets the business every time?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
What is on the Friday text? What does the text say?
The text always says, hey, Carly, Brandon here with Brookstone. Hey, wishing you best of luck this weekend. If something pops up, you need a contract, you have a question about an offer, be happy to be a second set of eyes for you. I'll be here all weekend for you if you need anything.
I absolutely love that. You're just, hey, I'm here to help if you need it. Like, that's great.
I'm serving you. I'm acting as your agent before I'm your agent.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. This is such a great strategy.
Thank you. It's worked really well.
Yeah. Well, I could see that's why it's, what do you have, 70%?
Yeah.
I love it. Good.
This is
so
fantastic
3 steps.
stuff.
I know. The first phone call, face-to-face, and then lead follow-up. You make it seem so easy.
Yeah. Well, I think it starts with the mindset, because the agents have they have this instant gratification mindset. They want to work out, Carly, one time and walk out of the gym with a 6-pack. It doesn't work that way, does it?
No.
And they want to prospect. They want to make one call, get one listing, and get one commission check all in the same day. Or our business has to be a delayed gratification business. We don't get paid for 90 days for the work that we do today. And so it all starts with the mind first, controls our actions and our attitude, especially with this strategy, because I bet you the people watching this and watching the replay, as soon as I said, go out there and support the FSBO to sell on their own, they're all like, what in the world? But now they see, if they stayed in there and watched 10 minutes of content, they say, holy crap, that just changed my entire paradigm shift on real estate.
100%.
They get one. So many
cool.
valuable points here. You know, I can't. How many times do agents make for sale by owners wrong? And I mean, if you just stop doing that, you know,
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not going to get you anywhere. You win the battle and lose the war. You know. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
It's
I have really loved diving deep into FSBOs because I'm more of an expired person, but I'm definitely going to try this and I'm so excited. I'm going to rewatch it a few times.
Yeah,
sure
and agents
audience
don't
will
go
too.
near them because they think agents don't want to pay. I mean, for sale owners don't want to pay a
Well,
commission. And I love
Yeah,
that
or it
because
takes
then
too
you can go
long.
get the listing.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has been fantastic. I mean, if folks just use the copycat principle, just try this. It'll work. So I'm excited about that. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And I know, Brandon, like I said earlier, be ready. A whole bunch of people are going to reach out to you with questions.
No problem.
So it just happens.
I'll be happy to help.
Good.
Brandon, how can people reach you for either referrals or for help or?
Yeah. I mean, you can find me on Instagram or YouTube at Brandon Mulrenin, or you can go to my website, reverseselling.com. So you can go to my website, or you can find me on YouTube or Instagram.
Wonderful. So everybody, if you're watching on Vulcan7 and you want to get involved with the Lead Gen Facebook group that simulcasts the show, they're at facebook.com/groups/got-objections. And finally, if you're watching on Facebook and you're not yet involved with Vulcan7, hard to believe, make sure to sign up at vulcan7.com/lead gen for a special deal. And really, the secret, it's not the Oura ring, It's not the cold showers. It's not the for sale boners. The secret Brandon Mulrenin has is at the end at noon, when he's done with all the work from the morning and his cold shower, he goes to the freezer and gets out the delicious Grater's mint chocolate chip. This is the one you want for listening. The mint chocolate chip is for taking for sale boners, especially. If you're looking to work with buyers, that is, as we know, rocky road. And if the listing is slow to sell, dig a hole in the front yard, bury it upside down, and that listing will sell just like that. I want to appreciate everybody being here. I want to thank you, and we'll see everybody next week.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Brandon.
No problem. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.